Right, so in this construction, again, using a trimen, I'd like to construct an angle and at a given point congruent to a given angle. So the given angle right here is angle C. You can see, all right, and what we're going to do is construct an angle, we'll call it angle F down here, that is congruent to angle C. We already have one ray, one side of that angle, and that would be this ray right here. We can call that FP. Okay, and so what we're going to do is construct the other ray that is going to give angle F the same size, the same number of degrees as angle C. All right, so first of all, we're going to set the compass and draw what we call a convenient arc, and set this compass at the vertex of the angle C. And a convenient arc means something that's going to be basically go through both sides of our angle. Now we are going to mark that point of intersection, right? And right away we're going to come down here at F, and we're going to keep that same radius and draw that arc. Now we can mark this point, but we cannot mark the point here that matches that yet. All right, now we take and we place the trimen on, let's call this point X, and we'll call this point Y. Oops, Y, not 2X, just XY. All right, so we're going to take our trimen, place it on X, and then we're going to pull our radius back, and we're going to get it right over Y. And again, checking to make sure that's in the right place, and yet we did a good job on that. We basically taken and measured this distance here, and now we bring that down here. We'll call this point D. Put it on point D, the point of intersection with ray FP. And then we're going to just draw that arc again over here. Make our point. We'll call this DE over here. And then all we need to do is make our ray from F to E. And what we have is angle EFD congruent to angle YCX. And so let's write that down. Angle YCX is congruent to angle EFD because they both have the same measure. The angles are congruent. All right, let's continue now with construction 2 with angles. And I'm going to show you how to bisect an angle. And so we're going to bisect this angle. Let me straighten this out first so you can see it. All right. We're going to bisect an angle here. And by constructing a ray from Q that is going to cut this angle PQR into two equal or congruent angles. So again, what you want to do is draw, and I'm going to have to pull this down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to draw an arc, what we call a convenient arc. So, you know, loosen up your trimen, make sure it's going to hit both sides of your angle, both rays, not too high up, and then both of these points are going to be marked. All right, you don't have to name them. Now you're going to take your trimen again and place the center of the trimen on one of those points. You can adjust your radius now if you like, because what we want to do is have two little arcs in the center here, one from this point, one from the other point that intersect. So you want to make them intersect over here and mark that point of intersection. Then carefully draw. We're going to mark that point T because this is going to be our bisector. And we're going to just draw a ray QT. All this angle here, PQT, should be congruent to angle TQR. We put tick marks there, and we make our statement again. Angle PQT is congruent to angle TQR based on the construction to bisect an angle. All right, quickly we're going to take the measurements of angle 1 and 2, and we're going to add them together and put them right here on this ray that's already started for us, and make an angle that's equal to the measure of both of these angles. So again, your convenient arc, and I'm going to start over here and make a nice convenient arc here. Same thing here. They all have to, these arcs all have to be the same size, okay? They all have to use the same radius. They from the new angle, from the vertex of the new angle right over here, we'll call that N. All right. From the vertex of angle 1, the arc, the vertex of angle 2, the arc. The radius has to be all the same. Now, once you've done all three of those, you're going to measure angle 1 by placing the trimen on the center of the trimen on one point of intersection, tightening it up and measuring this distance right here. And now we're going to mark that off on our new angle. So I'm not going to draw the side though. I just want to say that if I drew this, this angle would be the same size as angle 1. But I'm just going to mark that because what I want to add to that is this distance from angle 2. And we're going to go ahead, measure the distance for angle 2, and go ahead and add that distance here. There we go. Okay, so this is angle 1. This is the measure of angle 1 right here. So this is congruent to angle 1. And this measure here is congruent to angle 2. All right? And all together now we can draw this second ray. And now we have an angle that is the sum of angles 1 and 2. Okay. And finally, we're going to subtract two angles.
Students to attendance, please. Andrew Maya, Kayla Morrissey, Ryan Cartier, Rory St. Attendance, please.
All right. So now we're going to subtract two angles again. I'm going to come back here, use the convenient arc right here. Angle 1, a little bit higher, and I'm going to mark. I've already got these marked off, so I'm just going to make sure I get that same exact arc, which I have. I'm going to mark it off over here, and this time instead of adding, I'm going to take the larger distance here. I'm going to mark that off over here. And instead of adding the size of angle 1, I'm going to subtract the size of angle 1 from it. It's going to be kind of a tiny angle, which is fine. And so this is the angle that is the difference between the size of the two angles. And that completes our lesson.